Supreme Court annulled the election or come to power of the Imo State governor and ruled that the APC governor be returned.
Hope Uzodinma,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. I mean, and if you look at the results, election results, it was like fourth, and it's now brought to. What do you think about this?
Well, the point is that there was no magic in it. I understand that up to 388 polling units were excluded from the result of Hope. And Hope presented results from those polling units.
So they added up.
They added up. And when those results from those polling units were added up, and then you now compare with what Ihedioha, who eventually was elected, who announced the governor, had, his became higher in terms of being the first. So that's how magically it looks that he now became first. Yeah, from fourth to first. So when you now tabulated the results, the Supreme Court did that. They did that mathematics of addition and subtraction and discovered that he ought to have polled higher votes. And he satisfied the requirement of two-thirds majority of the local government in the state. And that's how he was declared the governor-elect yesterday. So there's not magical about it. So when people say, how can fourth be first? It is as a result of, after the tabulation of those results, then the man now that was fourth now became first.
Interesting. So there's also this people saying that Father Mbaka predicted the Supreme Court's judgment before it even happened. Do you buy this idea? Do you think there was something he was aware of that
No, in the absence of any information or facts, from any source, it's presumed that what Mbaka did was spiritual. And I am a child of God, I'm a Christian, and I know that God does reveal certain things to his prophets. Whether it is genuinely, revealed to him by God or he got it from others, so it's something I cannot, stay here now and pronounce because it's not, that information is not available to me. But one thing I know is that God does reveal the secret things to his people because the secret things actually belong to God. And he does reveal it to people that he loves. So it is possible that God actually revealed that information to him, or he may have obtained that particular information from a source that is clearly known to him. So that I cannot in any way now argue about.
Okay, so is it too early to talk about 2023 elections, as people have said? Because we've been hearing people talking about 2023 elections.
There is nothing that is early. Planning, for certain thing that is positive, for future is not something that is wrong. But it depends on what we are planning. If we are planning to have an electoral system that is free and fair, that will ensure that people's votes count in 2023, of course, it's not too early to plan it. There are so many things that we expect INEC to begin to put in place towards 2023. So if that is in place, is being taken care of, is being planned, there is nothing early about it. But what we will not consider very appropriate at this time is to begin to kill ourselves over who is going to succeed who. Because we have people now that are in there as government. We expect them now to begin to map out policies that will satisfy the yearnings and aspirations of the people that are present in the country in terms of providing basic infrastructure, in terms of security of lives and property, in terms of providing employment, in terms of running the economy in such a manner that people will begin to have 3 square meal a day. That lives will be better for the people. Putting in place, structures, like this infrastructure I talk about. Medical issue is an issue in Nigeria. The educational system has almost collapsed. There are no light, there are no roads, the light system, the electricity system is poor. So let government begin to, deal with these things and not to talk about who is going to succeed. Whereas the one that you have been given power to, you've not ever to discharge it. You have not proven yourself that you've done what the mandate is given to you has been discharged. So to me, let's talk about how to discharge that burden before talking about who is going to succeed who.
Okay, finally, I want to ask you about Showore. Do you think he should run again in 2023? Do you think it will be too early to talk about?
If Showore has the capacity to run, there is nothing wrong in running. But he must ensure that he has support of other regions. And that is key. And what I mean other regions, include the youth of all other regions. Because running for presidency, when you cannot in any way gather adequate supporters across the entire region, will not make any sense. You might be running for running's sake. You run with the hope of winning. And before you run for an election, you must also have done the costing and the calculation, of your level of acceptability. And, that you will gather the support from this is that will now make you the winner. If you don't do all that and just run an election for the sake of running, you'll be a loser. So for me, I need him to really sit down and look at the political landscape of Nigeria and look at the possibility of him gaining support from all other regions in the country that will make him to be the president of the country. If he doesn't have that possibility of, why will he now waste his time and resources to run? So counting the cost is key. Nobody builds a house without, first of all, sitting down to count the cost, and then analyze and critically strategize and say there is possibility of me emerging the president.